Sometimes I like to channel surf. Alright, last time on What Do You Think, I asked about the console wars. Whoa, boy, we got 17 comments. Specifically to the Sega side in the 32X Saturn period. And we'll start out with the oldest first. We got Lightsaber Samurai being the vanguard of the comment section here. And check out his channel. I'll do a more formal shout out, but I've been following this guy for about a year, and he leaves some really good videos. I hated how that all went down with the 32X. Sega America was charged with making the 32X while Sega of Japan developed the Saturn in secret. Sega of Japan never listened to the advice of Sega of America about the American market, and it ultimately cost them dearly. Great video. Thank you for the compliment, but I have to say that it is a misconception that Sega of America and Sega of Japan didn't really know what the other was doing. You know, at the time, that's kind of what we all believed, and it seems like it keeps getting pushed around, that theory, but in my research, that's not exactly what happened. In fact, Sega Japan president met with Sega of America, and it was decided that the 32X would be developed as an add-on rather than a separate system. So because you have a larger install base of Genesis users that are going to just buy this new piece of hardware and they can buy all the new games. So yeah. And then we got one from DeathDino Gamer. Oh, he's leaving up a follow-up from the last discussion we had, and he overlooked a Musha that was, oh goodness, that hopefully, you know, let's just maybe let's just put it in your mind. Let's just say that was a reproduction that was like super high quality, so don't lose any sleep over it. And he actually found a manual collection video too, so I'm gonna check out that link later on. Got one here from Death Adder, and he writes, I didn't understand what that Death Adder guy wrote in, but I believed him. What do I think? As a Genesis kid, I wanted the 32X, obviously, and then later the Saturn. I ended up getting neither. If the 32X and Sega CD money was put into making cheaper priced Saturn, maybe Sega would be still around. Who knows for sure, but I don't have room to collect, and Saturns, from what I hear, are ticking time bombs, so I guess I can only dream. Well, the collection prices, I mean, if you want the good games, you want actual physical, real Saturn games, it's going up, so I don't know. And there's no good way to emulate, so it's hard. It's hard to overlook. It has some good games. Definitely has some good library games. But yeah, if they put all their money into they'd have to take such a big hit if they wanted to make the Saturn any cheaper. I don't know if that would really help them, and also if they put all their money behind either one of them, like in terms of marketing. The thing is, like, the Saturn was such a pain to develop for it that it just wasn't getting those ports of games that PS1 had, and so, you know, the developers are abandoning ship. The users don't see any reason to buy it. If it was $300, the problem is maybe you would get some more people buying the Saturn, but because, you know, they want those exclusives. But eventually, only exclusives are coming out from first-party games, and I don't know if that's enough to hold a system. Maybe Nintendo. Nintendo seems to always survive. I don't get it. Rebel Gaming Club leaves a similar comment here. Had Sega funneled all the resources, what might have been? Yeah, I mean, see, I got a short change here to Rebel Gaming Club. Check out their channel. But yeah, check out my response to Death Adder, because I think it's a similar idea. And then we got one here from Suren, or, you know, when you pronounce someone's name, it's Cherwin or Serwin maybe. If you think of that CE as a ch sound, and like an Italian might pronounce. I've always thought the 32X was a good idea in theory. Anyone with a lot of SNES games had been paying for the same expansion chips many times over. Much better to buy a single expansion that works with multiple games, right? Definitely. I didn't have an SNES at the time, and so when I go back and I look at these ads for Toys R Us, EB Games, etc., I'd look at the SNES games, but I didn't really keep their prices in mind as much because I wasn't a Super Nintendo owner. So I'm surprised when I see prices for like $70, $99 for a game, and on my Sega system the prices were like $38, $34, $20, $50, brand new games. I mean, I'm sure there were similar cheaper games on Super Nintendo, but I saw a lot more going back, you know, and diving into those ads on Super Nintendo. I think market confusion was the death knell here for it, just regarding that idea. You release a 32X that has all these, you know, these cool expansion chips in it. You release a Saturn, and it's kind of like, which one do you buy, right? And yeah, that definitely confused the market. We got Majority. What did Sega need? Why a Game Gear Micro, obviously. It's yeah, right. It's hard for me to say since I wasn't well versed in Sega at the time of the Genesis, but I think the Saturn would have thrived if there was a bigger push to get them in every North American home and the games available to the audience. That's always the dream of a company, right? You want as many people to have your stuff. My personal Saturn and Saturn collection is the only one I've ever seen in person, and I likely have contacts that couldn't tell you what a Sega Saturn. Well, I've always thought Majority was from like maybe a generation that's 5 years younger than me, so I think maybe you weren't so aware of kind of what was going on the video game. I mean, you are an N64 guy, so I don't know. I knew people that had Saturns. I knew people that had PlayStations and N64s. I knew people that had both. So I just think, yeah, maybe because you were a little younger, you didn't see that whole dynamic in the way I might have, or my friends and the magazines. So yeah, it's funny that you say that they might not know who Sega Saturn is. I've met kids who don't know who the Beatles are. Beatles are before my time, yet I discovered them. Oh yeah, I discovered it. I'm just saying, like, you know, I know who they are. And then he leaves a comment about how reordering this what do you think playlist and from newest to oldest might be a good idea. I still kind of think that ordering from oldest to newest is a better idea, because you have the question and then the next video is the follow-up. So I think that order, it serves me well. Maybe I make 2 playlists, I don't know. Anyways, let's get on to today's topic. I can't expect YouTube to suggest channels and people that I'm gonna return to regularly. They'll, maybe something I've seen before, or they'll suggest my own videos. But yeah, see, there you go. But look at this stuff. I'm not gonna sit around and come back to these channels. I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting them a fair chance, but I find that most of the times it'll eventually get to a big pile of money or a big pile of cleavage. So it's not something I'm gonna come back to regularly. What I like to do is, on a video, not necessarily my own, I like to go into the comment section, which I normally do anyways, but I find somebody who's leaving a thoughtful comment and I click on them, because obviously they're paying attention to the video. They're leaving a comment that it requires more thought than just, you know, like a cheerleader comment, like great video. That's kind of like a cheerleader comment. I get the sentiment, but anyways, we'll click on the Rebel Gaming Club, and I've never been to the Rebel Gaming Club, let's say, and I'll go and I'll find a thumbnail or some text of the video, and I go like, that looks interesting, let's click on it. And I watch the video, and maybe I see something I like, I bookmark them. I say, you know what, I'll come back to this channel later on. Even if I don't like them off the bat, I'll go check out another video. Maybe I'll find something I like, but I then just go into their comment section, find some other person leaving a thoughtful comment, and click on them and check out one of their videos that intrigues me. Sometimes what I'll do is, I know this sounds bad, but I'll click on a video and someone's channel, and then I won't even watch it. I'll just go straight to another person leaving a comment. It's just sort of like, I don't know, like I'm riding a wave, you know? And then eventually the wave comes to rest, and I go like, huh, let me go look at other videos, see if there's anything interesting, and then, you know, watch a video, bookmark it, come back to this person later on, dive into their comment section, and so on and so on. And, you know, I'm not going to do this all night, but it just might be it's just a fun way to discover new channels. So yeah, how do you find out about new channels? Other than someone shouting it out, obviously, but yeah, maybe you can make the experience of finding new channels fun and doing YouTube's job. I guess it's not necessarily YouTube's job of telling you about interesting people. Popular videos, yes, but not interesting people. So yeah, anyways, what do you think?